This was an extinction burst for the Red Pill movement.
T3 Media.
Prepare yourself, guys. Chris, we're talking through the medias. Now, look, Andrew Wilson from the whatever podcast, whatever that means, got totally pwned, owned, whatever you want to call it, on his own stage.
Your religion.
You lick sniz.
What is that?
You're
Home field advantage, and yet was not ready for the mother of all bombs. When you set the stage so eloquently like this.
I will never be able to convince you of my worldview.
You won't.
I know. But the reason is not because I'm not a great orator, or I don't make good points, or I haven't said things which should be compelling to a person. But Charlie, I just think honestly you're too fucking stupid to understand them.
And then your opponent looks back at you and just goes,
So Andrew, can I sell you on my worldview?
Yes.
I knew right there that it was about to go down. The way Charlie, just so calmly, in a podcast conversation that lasted for 6 hours on the 4-hour mark, just sets the stage with, you want to hear my worldview?
Enemy sound detected.
Your wife has 3 baby daddies
Hostiles jamming
and
our
has
radar.
been married twice before.
I mean, this mother of all bombs, this ammo that was just right here, just tucked away. And then it was, it's time. It wasn't really what she said because all she stated was a fact. It was his reaction.
Your wife has 3 baby daddies and has been married twice before.
No, it was his overreaction. If Andrew never would have responded the way he did, it might have gotten a little attention.
And you
You
lick sniz.
I was literally telling my wife this a minute ago. How do you think his wife really would?
He is the one who ends up insulting his wife. Because he starts it off anyways by calling Charlie stupid, the person he was debating, by saying, like, you can't understand this, like, you're simply just too dumb. And then Charlie drops in that little factoid that sets Andrew off of saying, your wife has had children with other men. And according to what you're preaching right now, like, that is against it. Not saying it as a bad thing, like, just pointing out a little fact. But the way he responds to it by just throwing a full tantrum at Charlie, who's just sitting at the other end of the table, just starting to serve face, it just shows that he's embarrassed of his wife and that history that she has. And so it just makes him look like this insecure little crybaby. And the original factoid was not even said as an insult. It was just said as a point of continuation in their debate. Like, you can tell she's going to go into another point after that, but he throws his little fit there and interrupts her. And we got that video now.
Now, in a marriage like theirs, this is probably going to be a stand by your man situation. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you got to know for a fact that in a future argument, she's going to bring it up. Why did you react like that? It seems very odd the way you reacted, that you are obviously very insecure about this because this was something you did not want your audience to know. It wasn't a secret. It wasn't something you were trying to really keep hidden, but you definitely were not advertising. Why? Because it's not part of the plan. As the Joker said, it doesn't fit the mold. You are selling all of your followers the same nonsense that all you red pillars do. Talk about body count and if a woman has kids, they're damaged goods and all that kind of stuff. Man's supposed to be able to get a single woman that's totally untouched and then violate her after marriage, all that kind of crap, right? You always say the same thing, but yet you don't practice what you preach, which was obvious what Charlie was saying. You sell this package and you tell people to live this life, but you don't practice what you preach.
Your religion.
You lick sniz.
What is that?
You're don't talk about my wife, you stupid. Shut your fucking mouth. Shut your stupid mouth.
Preach it here, you don't practice it there. And that's what he was trying to ignore. Kept bebopping and scatting, saying, well, tell me what's bad about what I'm doing. Tell me what's bad about it. I didn't say, no, as her, I didn't say that you being a stepfather was bad. What I'm saying is that you do not tell your audience to do it. You don't tell your audience that it's a good thing. You don't go around telling guys, giving your followers that advice, because that's not what the mold is. And if it was the mold, you wouldn't have reacted the way you did. You were quick to shut her up.
Shut your fucking mouth. Shut your stupid mouth.
You
lick sniz.
I am convinced that he was trying to either say snatch or jizz. And then remember, you're like, wait. And he just came out,
Sniz.
Maybe I've heard sniz before in a movie somewhere. But I feel like he buffered. And it just came out sniz. And everyone's response to that was pretty unanimous. And you don't? Oh, well, another reason to feel sorry for your wife.
And when I tell you this is what they are mad about, that women do have value no matter what their past is. Because this is the reality. That's not his dream girl. That lady, and I steer clear of talking about people looks unless they're terrible people and also out here perpetuating terribleness. And then we got to give you a reality check. These podcasters and stuff, these average ugly dudes with an average amount of money, they not pulling no baddies. Don't nobody want them. He had to settle for somebody that had, by his own standards, kids and previous marriages, because he says that's not even if a guy can get something else. He said that in one of his clips. If you can choose between one or the other, a single mom and a woman who doesn't have kids, pick the one that doesn't have kids.
And the icing on the cake was the fact that this debate not only turned into a 2-on-1 because the moderator was chiming in on it, but then his own wife had to come in and save this man and help him.
Then what did he do wrong? You do not sound like a person with a college education. And since you lost and you got humiliated, you thought the thing to do would be attack me. And where did you get the idea that I'm promiscuous? I've spent my entire adult life only in 3 long-term committed relationships, one of which is a, almost 20-year relationship with Andrew. Now we're like 18 years in.
She gets on the phone and immediately tries to insult Charlie's intelligence. You do not sound like a person with a college education. Like, girl, your husband just panic dialed you mid-meltdown. Relax.
I know you're not talking about my husband. I mean, what kind of beta move was that?
He didn't have a choice. That's what he's mad about. She's not a baddie. She got kids. But guess what? He's a man. And men, especially conservative men are so evil and terrible. They have to have somebody in their household to yell at and back up their stuff. That's why you notice they'll get mad when people say, like, nobody wants to be friends with them. Well, how come you guys can't just get along with us? Because we don't want to hear that bullshit. Don't nobody want to sit up and listen to you. They got to get married, because otherwise they'll be at the crib by themselves with their beer hollering into their podcast mic and nobody else. They need somebody to be exposed to that. So he has to get married, and that's all he could get. And that's why he was so triggered by what she said, and he took it as an insult. Because having 3 baby daddies, to me, is not an insult. Hey, sound like you tried out here and these men was messing up. Okay. But to him, it's an insult, because that's not what he would have picked if he had other choices. But because women, no matter what, have value, he had to get a woman. He had to. And that is exactly why he is mad.
Whenever anybody asks me about the whole red pill thing, it's the same formula. You give these young men the worst advice ever on how to find the right woman or the perfect woman or whatever, live happily ever after in marriage. And you're getting this advice from men who are not married, probably never had a girlfriend or anything. Now, Andrew, he is married. Okay, I'll give him that. But the majority of these people with this grift, that's the formula. Keep these boys single by giving them the worst advice. Go out there and do this, and you're guaranteed to get the right girl. It backfires, they come back mad. Don't be mad at the person that gave you the advice. It obviously, whose fault? The sniz eater.
Lick sniz.
Under your religion.
So you're going to have to pay for my next package of bull, and then you'll be guaranteed. It's life is a wheel. This grift is a wheel. It always comes back around to pay me more.
Do the men that you try to...
Do the women that you try
show
to...
your hatred against...
Do you the women that you try
convince them
to...
that they shouldn't...
Charlie, did I bring...
Women? Do they know
Charlie,
that
did
your
I bring
wife
your
is 5
family...
years older?
Did I bring any of your family into anything?
Stupid.
I'm 1,000% sure that Andrew and his wife do not believe any of this stuff. They couldn't, because it's the opposite of what he advises his followers, his audience. And that's what Charlie was pointing out.
Your wife with the 3 baby
What did I
daddies?
just say?
Your wife with the 3
Sorry,
baby
I'm
daddies?
sorry. Is she morally inconsequential in comparison to your ditch licking?
But somewhere down the line, they came to the conclusion that, hey, this red pill grift is quite lucrative. And it's obvious. Somewhere down the line, they decided the grift was greater than the life. And they wanted another life. They wanted a different life. They wanted more. But I'm still going to come back to my first little conclusion. What was said a lot on TikTok. He obviously feels, Andrew, that he deserves better. And for whatever reason, he settled. And he knows she settled based on his teachings. The question now is, what happens now that it's all out in the open? Because the way he reacted, like, I should have gotten with a single woman with no children and all this extra baggage. Because that's kind of how you responded. You got super defensive. So in his mind, he should have gotten with a better person, which means she's not really what he wanted. Or it was all BS from the beginning, and they just decided, let's just teach these young men this other way and just kind of keep it on the wraps. Don't worry, baby. I'll tell these boys that men who marry women with children are losers, but don't worry. I don't mean it, right? I'm still going to get the sneeze letter, right? Yeah. Huh? Good? Yeah, we're good. Yeah. And you know she's in on the grip. Why? Because she had to come in and save his ass at the end. Don't argue with me. I don't make the rules. This is a beta, man, that you just should not follow. Stop following these guys. They're only leading you back to the beginning of the bullshit. That's it. Let him go. That's it. That's all I got to talk about. That's all I got to say about this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And as I always say, let's keep talking. Till next time, guys.